Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of building a Lego Black Falcon castle. Now this is probably going to be the second to last episode. We've got a ton of stuff done today and we're probably going to be heading into the finale just next week. So I can't wait to finish off the final things, but in this episode I get a ton done. We've really started to work on a load of the second tower, as well as almost finishing off the castle itself and building a really cool tree on the outside. So let's head straight into it. Whilst we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you do end up enjoying today's video. But yeah, you can see with the time lapses we started with a little bit of work on the ends of the towers. Now I'm using this sort of technique right here to give a sort of like a small stone effect on the inside of the actual walls, as if the outside are built up with more bigger stones and the inside is then filled up with smaller stones. And it's a nice little detail on the end of the towers, and I'm really happy I've done this, and I think it's a really nice way to end off both sides of the towers. After this I decided to turn my attention to the inside of the castle. Now I might actually be expanding this area, I'm not too sure yet, but what I did so far was work on a load of different textures and details of the ground and the dirt that's going to go inside of the tower. You can see I'm just laying down a load of dark tan and nougat on the floor. After this I decided to go ahead and add in these doors on top, so you can see these are the areas I'm planning on building the doors into the second tower right here. And basically what I'm going to do now is just detail them a little bit, add a few different plates here and there, add the different hinges and stuff that are going to go on the left hand side of the door, sort of like where they'll actually attach to the wall in theory, and then also add of course the little doorknob on the right hand side as well. And basically I just wanted to add a few different details in here. I will probably go ahead and change these up a little bit more and make them a little bit more detailed as we go, but yeah, I just wanted to add in a mixture of tiles and plates and things like that, and then I added them into the castle itself. After this I turned my attention to the other first tree design that I had and worked on a load more of these olive green / dark brown trees. I really like the way these trees were designed and the way they came together, so I made a load more of these. I think I have 5 in total now, at least, maybe a couple more than that, and these were designed by Edge of Bricks, so definitely go check them out. I'll leave a link down below. He actually did a tutorial in one of his castle updates on how to build these awesome trees. After this I'm going to head into some more progress on the actual castle itself. I'm going to give you a better look at the tower once it's almost fully built. We're also going to add in a few different flags and stuff like that, and then work on the tree. So let's get started with that. The first thing I'm going to turn my attention to after sprinkling in those trees is the top of this first tower right here. So you can see I've done a load of work on this now, and you can see I basically went with the structure where I sort of jut out and then go back in for the top, for the actual sort of battlements and things like that on the front. I also added in this little lion piece right here. I've seen the people use this in a few different city builds, and I thought it looked really awesome, so I sort of chucked that at the front there, and I think it turned out nicely. Let me know what you think of this tower design. Obviously I don't think this is the final design. Potentially I could work this in a bit more and sort of test it out, try a few different other things out, because I'm not entirely happy with it, but I think overall I think it looks good enough for me. But I'm not sure whether I do like this, and I'm not sure whether this will be the final design, but let me know what you think of this. I kind of sprinkled some ingot pieces on the tops of the actual slopes and the tops of the actual battlements and stuff, and then we do have some tiles in between them, and we do have this nice big custom flag on top. So if you haven't checked out one of my recent haul videos, I got these custom flags on eBay from a company in Austria. They have this giant store where they sell a load of custom things like flags, sticker sheets, and much more. So I picked up a load of different ones, and we can see we have the 2 on either side just being those sort of blue Black Falcon banners. I also got a couple of capes, which you can see right here as well, and then I also got this sort of checkered flag that goes right in the middle here, and I think this is a nice inclusion into the center of the 2 towers. I really like this right in the middle, and the 2 flags sort of pairing on either side of that as well on top of the actual turrets. Of course I then do have the actual brick built banners on either one of the towers as well, and then these 2 sort of other brick built banners on either side as well. So I think this is a nice complement between the actual custom flags and the brick built ones themselves. So you might have seen when I was talking about those flags right there, I've actually done a ton of work on the second tower. When I first showed it to you in this episode, it was slightly sort of built up just below the level of the actual doors, but once I got those doors in I really could start to work up the tower, and now we pretty much have it to the level where we only need to add in the battlements on top, and then we'll pretty much be done with that second tower as well. So that's something I will be finishing in the next episode or before the finale. I did actually add in the extra banner on the front, of course, to match the other side, and then the window slightly above that as well, and I think it looks really nice. Now it pairs with the other tower, sort of contrasts it as well. I really like this. Obviously I just flattened it off on the top there, and then I will be adding some sort of floor on the top of these ones as well, so they won't just be sort of empty like that. They'll have some sort of tiling in the brown colour, some similar to the ones on either side. I also did add in this, I don't really know if I mentioned this in the last update, but I've also added in loads of different tiling and wooden platforms where the archers are stood on the battlements as well. So the next thing I did was finish off the actual river itself. Now this was quite a long task, obviously. It was pretty much just repeating what I'd done over on the other side, just adding in these trans dark black tiles, and then a few different sort of trans clear triangles or cheese slopes in there as well to add some different wave effects and things like that. But this was pretty simple, just went over all of this. You can see the embankment on the left hand side was still unfinished, so in a second I will be going through and doing that. But sit back and enjoy the time lapse whilst I finish off the water and build up the bank. So I really like the way I did this with more rocks and some more dark grey rather than just doing the olive green. I was running slightly low on olive green, but I think either way it worked out quite nicely. I was planning on having this area a bit higher up so the rocks would be more exposed rather than just having the olive green sloping down to the river like I did on the previous sections. And I think this turned out quite well. It adds a bit more height to this area of the mock. And I was overall really happy with the amount of different rock techniques and rock work I could get in here. It's not my best work and I was running slightly low on olive green, but I think overall it came out quite nicely. So now something else that you've definitely noticed, but I've slightly mentioned in this video already, is this big tree on the outside. Now this was something I really wanted to do, just to fill up that giant area over there. Obviously you have the bit further on that's a bit more muddy and stuff. Now that's going to be some sort of sheep or pig pen, but behind that I wanted to have the tree itself. Now I wanted to do something different. Obviously there's been a lot of olive green, including the olive green trees, but I wanted to go for something more brighter and more dense in foliage. So I decided to do this technique right here. So I built up the center of the tree, just using the 1x1 bricks with 4 studs on the sides, and then pretty much just layering a load of slopes and also tiles and plates in reddish brown. And then I added these branches that lean up to the top, which I think turned out really, really nicely. And then on top we have this sort of square piece with loads of different bars and stuff. And then you can clip all the different pieces onto that with all the leaves and stuff. So pretty much I have a branch going off each bit with one central leaf piece or maybe 2. And then a load of different plant pieces plugged into this. Now we do have the big 3 leaf pieces. I really love these pieces in both bright green and regular green. And then we also have a load of the smaller leaf pieces as well, which turned out really, really nice and adds a nice little natural effect. Also, because they're connected by clips, you can have them slightly sloping down like natural leaves and trees would in the real world. We also have a few different pieces bending around the outside. This includes some whip pieces as well as some big sort of like more longer pieces that are found in the bonsai tree, which are really nice pieces as well. And overall I think this tree just turned out really, really nicely. It's the first big tree design that I've come up with for myself in a long time, so I'm really happy with the way it looks. And overall I think it's one of my favorite elements of the actual mock itself. Of course I added in some different root pieces around the outside as well, just to add a bit more detail as if the tree is actually embedded into the landscape. I'd definitely love to hear your comments and feedback about this tree in the comment section down below. I think I'm really proud of it and I'd love to hear what you think as well. But that just about wraps up this episode of building a Lego castle, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I really have enjoyed some of the building I managed to get done this week. I really think it's turning out quite nicely, and we're very, very close to the finale now. So make sure you stay tuned with that post notification turned on when you do sort of subscribe to the channel. Make sure that bell is rang so you do stay up to date when I do post any more videos, and you don't miss the finale when that's coming up. Make sure to leave a like in the video if you did enjoy it as well. And of course, if you have anything to say about the mock, positive or negative, I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below. So make sure you go tell me exactly what you think of the mock project so far. Of course, if you have any feedback, I can then implement it before the finale. So I'd really appreciate that if you have anything you'd change or anything like that. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.